Hello everyone, it's November 18, 2022, and I'm here to do a market recap. So to begin with, let's look at what the SPY had been doing. So for the SPY had been on that consolidation for the week, and that's why there's not much of a move with other stocks that I'm watching, and it is taking me a longer time to trade, unlike when SPY has that big gap up or gap down at the open. I usually am done trading by the end of, an hour and a half. So for me, the strategy that I did was I did a couple of swing trade as well as a day trade. The swing trade that I did to begin with is D-Dog. D-Dog, I have this short when I saw that this one had that big rejection at the moving average. I shorted it and I just covered my position. So with that, just small shares, I was able to get 3K. And then the next swing trade that I did was JD. JD gave me a red trade. So what I did with JD was shorted it, but this one just ripped higher, so I closed my position in red, so a loss of 1K. And then Roku, I have Roku as a long, and fortunately it did not move in my favor and I got step out, and with that I got a loss of 664. So those are the three swing trades that I did. One worked out, which is the D-Dog, and the two was a loser. So for the day trade, I was watching ROST at the open. What ROST did was it had gap up significantly at the open. So it opened right here and then at one point touch 116 and then just have that huge reversal. So when I saw that yesterday it closed at 97.97 and then opened at 114, although that is a big gap up, and usually my trading strategy there is to go long, what I saw in 5 minutes is this. Let me just turn off my pre and post market data. What I saw here is this is my pre-market high and pre-market low is right here, and then I do have my levels here as well. So when I saw this big rejection of that first 5-minute candlestick and it tried to go up and go higher than VWAP, but it had that big reversal or big rejection, I shorted it here, added to my position, cover, and then re-entered, got stop out, and then I was able to re-enter again, re-enter or added to my position, and was able to get that move. Now I did have managed a small loss here, but very tight stop loss. So the huge move that I was able to capture was this move right here, and so from 112 all the way to right here 110. So that $2 move was enough for me to make a decent amount of gain here with small share size, and with that I got 1700. Then the next one that I'm watching is GTHX. So this one is a huge gap down at the open, which is my criteria is it has to be at least 3% down, more volume, and it started to pick up the volume at the open, and it's not a low float, it's 34 million shares, so that fits my criteria. So what I saw in GTHS or GTHX is that big gap down, and it did not give any signs of reversal that it's going up. So this one, the strategy here is to do short. So for my first trade here actually got me into a red trade just because I expect this one to, it opened right here around 652. I was chasing it a little bit, so I entered short there 652 and then got me step out at 669. Re-entered again here, has a lot of consolidation, and I did not want to tie my capital here. So with that little bit of a move right there, I took my position out and with that I only got $10 there. So the last trade that I did for the day is AMD. AMD, I got long bias on this when the SPY had been consolidating, and I saw that it also is topping, or it was also having this S3 support, and it had been selling off for the first how many hours of the day, and at around in the afternoon it is starting to bounce. So when I saw that, I also was looking at AMD. So AMD was having this sell off at the open, saw S3, and I thought S3 is going to be a good support. So when I saw that it's reaping higher, bouncing off of S3, I have it as a long right here. And I was expecting a big move closing that yesterday's close, but it did not. So I did not get to have partial here, but it got me stop out. And then I got long again, stop out, and then was able to have that very little move to the upside and was able to manage to get 352 there. So that's the thing with having a very tight stop loss as well as managing your position size, just because even with a little bit of a move was able to still get a 352 realized profit there. And now, of course, now post market, it's now 73.45. But so those are the trades that I did. So for today, I got 3,400, and it's a bit of a tough day just because with what the SPY is doing, it's been on that little bit of a pullback. We did end up with 0.41% higher than yesterday, but still, if we look at the SPY and we consider what it had been doing for the week, it is just in that consolidation. So not a lot of stocks have that continuation play, and with no continuation play, what I my go-to strategy is the pivot point. Just like with SPY, if this one had broke that R3, so the good strategy here is going short the R3 and covering your position at that S3 and vice versa. So S3 can be a good support, so entering long here and covering at that bounce close to the R3. So that is the pivot point strategy there. But still, my favorite strategy is either opening range breakout, VWAP play, 9 EMA, where the setup is it has that huge gap up and there's a pullback, so I entered at the pullback to ride it to the long, or if it's a huge gap down, I entered at the pullback or when it's going up at the 9 EMA and ride it down. So with what is happening with the SPY, it's a good thing to have different forms of strategies, just like reversal play or pivot point play, just in case you don't get to see those continuation play. So I hope you had a green trading day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.